Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.
Welcome to the podcast. This is your host, Seth Greene. Today, I've got the good fortune to be interviewing Charlotte Dunford. She is a managing partner at Johns Creek Capital, a privately held investment firm concentrating on the acquisition, development, and management of value-add mobile home park communities nationwide to maximize investor returns and mitigate risk through geographic diversity. Charlotte, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Our pleasure. Let's go back in time a little bit. How'd you get started?
So a little background story about me. I came to the United States when I was a 16-year-old to go to high school by myself. My parents never came with me. So I went to college here at Georgia Tech in the South, one of the top engineering schools. We call it MIT of the MIT of the South, or we like to call it the Georgia Tech. MIT is the Georgia Tech in the North. So, but I came to Tech for college, and right after college, I got my first job as a business analyst, and I started buying real estate because coming from communist China, you're actually not allowed to own your own personal property. It's all leased from the government for 70 years. So owning, properties has always been a dream, a passion of mine. There was a strong drive to owning property just to defy where I came from. So I started buying real estate using financing from my first job. But as you can imagine, after my first single family home and a duplex, it quickly pretty much maxed out my my ability to finance larger properties to the scale that matches the vision that I had. So I took a calculated risk, and based on the with the real estate experience that I had with my single family home and duplex, I quit my full-time job, took the job to launch my new venture with my business partner in the mobile home park industry. And now we have owned and operated 28 mobile home parks across the nation, mostly focused in the Midwest and the Southeast.
Well, congratulations. That's one heck of a journey. I'm sure the longer version could probably be in a book somewhere if it isn't already.
For sure.
How did you arrive at mobile home parks as what you were going to invest in?
Yeah, so when I started in 2020, actually late 2019, 2020, early 2020, it was mobile home parks was one of those long ignored asset classes that people are not paying so much attention to, like multifamily. So everybody knows about multifamily. Everybody knows about single family rentals. Those are super heated, saturated markets. So for me, one of the books that really left an impact on me was Peter Thiel's book called From Zero to One. It talks about the only one reason businesses fail is that they fail to escape competition. So where there's competition so fierce, they compete all the profits away. So which let me introduced to mobile home parks, which was not so competitive. The market was not so saturated, and I was able to find over 10 cap rate deals in mobile home park space where I would not be able to in the multifamily space.
Well, that is an excellent reason, and you've certainly made lemons out of what could be construed as lemonade. What are some of the misconceptions investors have about mobile home park development, and how do you overcome those?
So yeah, we're actually in the mobile home value add. So we buy existing parks that's already been developed and then add value to it, and then you reposition the mobile home park. So then obviously the stigma against mobile home parks is, the tenants, they're not welcomed, and then they don't they're misunderstood. There are certainly some truth in those stigma, and there's certainly certain type of parks and tenants you want to avoid, but that doesn't talk about the majority of mobile home park tenants. So mobile home park in a nutshell is a parking lot business. It provides a solution for the affordable housing crisis that's gotten worse and is really, really terrible right now in our nation. So it plays a piece of the puzzle as a solution to the affordable housing crisis. So it really is a housing product that offers people of low income to be able to afford a home and to be in something like a subdivision in a neighborhood, to be able to have that American dream of owning a home at the same time have it being affordable. And our job as affordable home, manufactured housing community owners, our job is to ensure that we build a better neighborhood and ensure the quality of the neighborhood. So
I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, who is an ideal investor in one of your programs?
So as a private equity firm, the advantages that this asset class offers is, number one is, we have the monthly cash flow of distributions. We strive to give out distributions every month. And then our goal as far as the return is within 3 to 5 years, we have a internal rate of return for limited partners, our investors, at least about 15%. And equity multiple, the amount of time that you multiply your money, is 1.3 to 2. So give you an example, we actually completed full cycle June of last year. We held that park for a little bit less than 2 years, 22 months. So that one delivered on a limited partner level the internal rate of return of 20%, and the annualized return of 21%, and the equity multiple about 1.37. So that was less than 2 years. And so that's the kind of deal we're looking for. As far as the ideal investors, most of our investors are accredited. Accredited investors, according to the SEC regulations and definition, will be an individual with a net worth of over $1 million, or the past couple years of income of $200,000 or more. Or we have a lot of investors that who invested with us are what we call sophisticated investors, that you don't have the net worth or the income, but you do have the background or the sophistication in business, finance, real estate, that know you know what you're doing. That's really a lot set up to protect you. So I would say those are the two types of ideal investors for anyone who looking to grow their wealth. Obviously, as a private equity firm, with a high return comes the risk. So all investments have risk, a high degree of risk. So I would say definitely vet your partner, definitely, understand the deal, and get yourself educated before taking a step.
Absolutely. The number, obviously we're not making a solicitation for investment on today's podcast. The returns that you're generating are very, very attractive. What is it? What type of value are you adding to, let's say, the mobile home park residents?
Right. So there are different types of value add. Number one is to improve the neighborhood appeal, to improve the curb appeal. So that starts with a new sign of the mobile home park community. When you drive into a subdivision and the sign looks really terrible and there's no sign, for mobile home park is the same thing. You want to make sure that it feels like home, it feels like community. So you add a new sign to it, a cosmetic upgrades, adding new fencing to the park. So those are not expensive to do. And then they add tremendous value in a curb appeal perspective. Number two, you want to make sure that the roads are maintained. If they're not paved, you may want to look into the budget of paving roads. And then number three is sometimes a mobile home park has several empty lots. With those empty lots, you can bring in newer homes to sell to new tenants, and then they're able to, improve kind of the neighborhood, bringing in really good people for the neighborhood, and that gives the value to tenants. And we try to be advocates for the tenants, right? Especially during the eviction moratorium where everything was hard, tenants cannot pay their rent. And so we actually advocated for our tenants and apply for rental assistance program on their behalf, and or help them, point them to the right direction. So that way that we're able to really improve collection and maintain our revenue. And so that's the value add. And as far as, that comes with increasing, a little bit of the lot rents, because they're really, really outdated. Lot rents are low to start with. So with those value at first, you add values to the tenants first. And then with that, tenants actually don't mind to pay a little more for a better service.
How are you getting your opportunity in front of more accredited investors?
So we have, as far as getting tractions with our accredited investors, we have our obvious referral network with our investors. Actually, the biggest source of our new investors comes from the referrals. People who have invested with us, like what we do, are satisfied with the returns. They talk to their friends, their family, their coworkers about our product or service, and say, hey, are you interested? So that's the number one source. And then number two, obviously, going on podcasts, get ourselves in front of the right people, and going to trade shows, doing presentations in front of the audience who might be interested, to put ourselves out there. I would say those are the secondary biggest source.
You've achieved so much success, not only for your investors, but improving the quality of lives of your tenants as well. What's your biggest challenge now?
So biggest challenge is always, the devil is in the details, right? So it's always, in our day-to-day operations, we want to make sure that we have, we execute according to our systems, our processes, to make sure that we have a perfect execution regarding our business plans. So the challenge is always, boots on the ground, working, put your head down and work hard, and provide those services at a great quality, for sure.
Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
Well, what I like the best is that I'm helping two groups of people. One is our accredited investors to grow their wealth, and that leads to more freedom. And number two is to help our tenants to have a better standard of living in a good neighborhood, and that also achieves freedom. So that's really my favorite thing. And being an entrepreneur is a great challenge. It has many, many difficulties, but I think through those difficulties is where we reach success, and that's really exciting to me.
That makes a lot of sense. For our folks watching and listening who want to learn more about all things Johns Creek, where is the best place for us to send them?
Yeah, so the best way to reach us is to email us directly at info@johnscreekcapital.com. Just email us at info@johnscreekcapital.com, or you can go to our website at johnscreekcapital.com, and there is a contact form there, but you can always just email us directly.
All right. Well, this has been Seth Greene with Charlotte Dunford from Johns Creek Capital. Charlotte, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service? Are you ready to take your business to the next level, but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com.